Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. Hope you're having a good day. I definitely am. Excuse me, a little scratchy throat there. So, as you can tell, I've put together another video here talking about a stone, a crystal. So this time we're going to talk about fluorite, okay? Fluorite happens to be the Rumi's favorite stone. So I want to kind of say up front that quite a few of these stones actually belong to her that I'm borrowing. So I want to say thank you to the Rumi for letting me borrow some of her crystals. She doesn't have as many as I do, but she's definitely got favorites, and among them is the fluorite. So fluorite is another one of those really great stones that has a lot of energies and intentions that you can work with this particular stone. Now, of course, I always want to say up front that I'm going to share with you how I work with this particular stone, and I'm so sorry. I guess I needed to have some water here and don't. And I encourage you to work with fluorite as I encourage you to work with any stone and plants and animal spirits and such, and find out how does fluorite or any other thing want to work with you. Okay, so before we get into any of the magical properties, let's talk about history and legend. So fluorite belongs to the spar family, the feldspar family, like sunstone and labradorite. So like those other members, it can be separated into flakes. And I really think that this particular piece right here is a really great example of that whole flake situation that they can be broken into. I'm hoping that you can see that. Let's put the hand up there. So this is a raw piece of fluorite, and I happened to get this particular stone from a mining excursion. I went to a place where they basically have a bucket with sand and they throw crystals in it, and you can pan as if you were panning for gold. And so this particular piece, I really love the overall shape of it in its raw form. I like how it's kind of trapezoid in shape, and I love how if you get in there and see, hopefully you can see that this top part here is purple and this bottom part is the green. This is like one of my favorite pieces of fluorite that I've ever came across, and there's just nothing super duper fancy about it. But I do think that it shows you those layers that it can form into. So yes, so it's part of the feldspar family. Because there's a wide range of colors, it's often said that it contains other gemstones in it. Now, I'm not a geologist or anything like that, so take that, with a grain of salt kind of a thing. There's healing properties associated with fluorite, and it says that again and again, I'm looking at this book here, my Healing Crystals and Gemstones, to get some of this information from, but I like the fact that it's supposed to remove pain if it's placed directly on the affected area. And so I immediately thought about the fact, say you have a knee injury or an arm injury where you're wearing an ACE bandage, how easy would it be to take, this is a tumbled piece of purple fluorite, and do you see how thin it is? This would be a really easy piece that you could, say I'm having wrist issues, to lay that against the area and wrap the ACE bandage around it and allow that to have the contact with the wounded area. I think that's a really great thought, and that was, again, something that I was kind of struck with as I was reading through this particular material. So that direct contact is good. It's helpful for energy blockages. It's also good for respiratory problems. So if you're a lady, then maybe you would maybe take a small tumbled piece like this, or even a tower. My goodness, I'm losing my words today. A tower or a wand. If you're having respiratory issues, maybe you wear that in your bra, and maybe that could give you some relief from those kinds of problems. Skin diseases and arthritis are also there's been some good things using these stones for those ailments. It will awaken suppressed feelings and combat narrow-mindedness. And who doesn't have narrow-mindedness at some point or another, I guess, right? So let's talk about some of these pieces, and we'll get into some more of my workings. So, fluorite comes in a plethora of colors. Obviously we're seeing green on the table. Obviously we're seeing purples on the table. And there's also yellow. Let's see, let's get this guy in here. This is a piece of raw yellow fluorite that I happen to have. I actually picked this up from a very interesting man, and so this is the only piece of yellow, and some of the green kind of looks yellow in person, but I know that this particular piece is yellow, is in fact yellow fluorite, so that's kind of groovy. Where is fluorite found? Fluorite can be found in Spain. It can also be found in England, the United States, Mexico, but it's particularly popular in China. Okay, I have to show you this piece. This is one of the Rumi's pieces. I'm going to try something here, and I haven't tried it on camera because I don't really know what it looks like. But this is a slab that this side has been polished pretty nicely. I'll give you a side view here. So this side is still a little raw, and then we have this side that is very raw. So this is something that someone has obviously cut, and looking at it in this capacity, you know, it's beautiful. You can see those, you can see the very strong purple here. You can hopefully see the green in through here, but I'm going to actually take my my light from my phone. That's it, powering up. And so let's see if we can get some better kind of colors flashing through there. I hope that this is kind of helpful. I guess I won't know until I edit the video here, but I'm hoping that you can really see the incredible color. She picked this up at a small show and paid a really great price for something like this. This was only, I think it was around $20 or $22. That's a great price for a beautiful slab. And I believe this is considered rainbow fluorite in this particular color setup or what have you. So that's one of my favorites, and like I said, that belongs to the Rumi. I have a couple of spheres here. This sphere is mine, and this sphere is the Rumi's, and I love how distinctly different they are. You can see that my sphere has, you know, a lot of green. a lot of green in there, with maybe some hints of purple. This particular one, it's more, I see more of a light green situation here, but like deep inside you can see the purple, and they're both beautiful, and they're roughly about the same size too. Trying to remember. I know I like to tell you guys prices and what I feel is reasonable and what isn't. And I don't entirely, like I have no idea what she paid for hers. And I want to say that I paid somewhere between $10 and $20. I feel that $20 for something this size is about as much as I'd want to pay for a sphere that size. Okay. Oh, speaking of the roomie, I think she's here. I think she just got home from work. Anyhow, moving on, let's check out this chunk. This is a beautiful chunk. Again, this is the roomies. And I almost wonder if we shouldn't clean this up a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what the white is there. It feels like it is still crystal of some variety, but mostly what we have here is a beautiful green fluorite. That, and again, this piece belongs to the roomie, a beautiful raw piece. And I believe she picked this up from Earthlore in Plymouth for right around $7, and that is a great price for something like that. So as far as how fluorite forms, I was speaking with someone who knows more about geology than I do, and he was saying that this octahedron shape, like what we're seeing here on this particular piece, this is a natural shape for how fluorite forms. And in my book, it does say that it forms in a cube shape. So this now it obviously, you know, I've got some smaller ones here too. I don't know how well we can really pick up on them because they're really close to my skin tone. But these are like little green ones. Obviously someone can make something look like that. So I don't know for sure if these guys are totally raw or if it was kind of cut down or what have you. But it's my understanding that this is the shape in which fluorite takes when it is shaped, or when it forms. Sorry. So how do I work with fluorite? My main way that I work with fluorite is it's open to the influences of other stones. So I feel like it augments workings that I'm attempting, so that I'm putting into motion. So I feel like it's kind of like a battery, you know, a battery boost of some kind. So that's like a primary way that I work with fluorite. I also work, because there's so much green, it's good for luck. It also grounds excess energy. So if you're a person who happens to have a lot of energy, then maybe you want a fluorite ring or a fluorite pendant or bracelet or something like that to kind of help you stay grounded. It might be something if you're new to the path and you're new to ritual work or going to events where there's a lot of pagans. Maybe this is, you know, if the hematites and obsidians and stuff aren't working for you, then maybe you want to look at fluorite as a means of staying grounded. You know, just something else to kind of try. It's known as a fairy gem, which I totally see because of its rainbow nature, and I really love how playful some of these pieces are. This particular tower is an incredible mix of purples and greens in that one. So I see that as a fairy gem. It's really great for manifesting innermost wishes, and it promotes well-being. So it enhances your concentration and your meditation. So maybe if you're struggling with meditation, maybe holding a tower or a wand made from fluorite would help you in your workings with that. Let's see. Oh, oh, yeah, that's it. Sorry. Lost my track of thought for a second there. Oh my goodness. If you're interested about the hardness of fluorite, it is a 4 on the Mohs scale. So this is definitely a rock that if you want to try some hand polishing at a 4, this is a great one for you to work on. I actually, coming back to this piece here, I've wanted to try hand polishing that one. So if I do that, then maybe I'll let you know how it turns out. But a 4 is definitely something. I think it's anything under a 6 is really something that you should be able to hand polish on your own, okay? So it is linked with the planet Neptune, fluorite is, and it's also linked with the star signs Scorpio, Aquarius, and Pisces. So if you're one of those signs, this might be a stone that you can attune easily to. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all the pertinent information from this book, and I've told you how I work with it. And there's really, oh, I want to show you these guys. I hope I'm not coming off too scattered today. Maybe I am a bit scattered. Maybe I need to use these for some excess energy. I wanted to show these tumbled stones because I feel like these give a really great representation of the variances that you can see in fluorite. This one is definitely got a lot of like a turquoisey green to it. This one, I love I don't know if you can really see them, but there's some lines within that purple one that's really pretty. And then I really like this one too because it's a mostly green one and you can see a couple of specks of purple in there. So it's just a very pretty stone. I really, really like it. And I came to realize while collecting pieces to show in this video, I only have one piece of fluorite jewelry. Isn't that crazy? And what I love about this particular pendant is you've heard me talk many, many times about picking up the chains from Michael's, from the craft section, or from the beading section there. This actually came from Michael's. This is a fluorite pendant that was sold just like this. Guys, I got this on clearance for like $3 or something along those lines. And I actually picked it up, it was like March last year. And the only reason that I remember that is there were 3 of them. And I bought all 3 and gifted the other 2 to the roomie and our friend Leanne for our April birthdays. So, so keep your eyes out for those kinds of amazing deals. So one piece of fluorite jewelry, I think I have to, I think I need to rectify that. I think I want maybe a pair of earrings or something like that that I could wear with them or what have you. One other piece that I wanted to show you, this is a raw piece of fluorite that I picked up at a rock show. And if you watched the lapidary video, you'll see that Lee and I were cutting stones. And this is actually some slices that Lee was able to cut off. Oh dear, don't slide. Cut off of this original piece. And so this is what they look like. They're just sliced. They still don't have any polish on them or anything like that. But I thought that was really cool. I love this piece. It's got some really dark purple and you can see little hints of green. Now these aren't particularly nice pieces because you can see how much smaller this piece is to this piece. This piece was actually as wide as this because I want to say that it was cut probably something along those. But this piece at the very edge, it broke. And so it's kind of crumbled a little bit. So there's some flaws that run through there. And I can actually feel some flaws right here along this line between the dark purple and the white piece. But didn't really have an intention when we decided to cut this, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it other than let it look pretty. So, but those are definitely some slicing things that was fun to kind of play around with. I feel like there was like one other thing that I wanted to say, and I don't remember now, so okay. So that is going to be it for this fluorite video. I enjoy fluorite a great deal, and I know the roomie does. So it's a pretty versatile stone. It's a pretty stone. It's a versatile stone, and it comes in a lot of different forms and colors that that you can touch base with, kind of a thing. All right. So if you learned something from this video or liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Whatever. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. We like to have you come back and check out what's going on here at the channel. And also, I encourage you to check out the description box. There's lots of social media links in there and things of that nature. What do you think of fluorite? Do you like fluorite? Do you work with fluorite? Do you work with fluorite in ways that are different from the way I work with fluorite? I'd love to hear about it. Please put those in the comments below. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for taking the time to walk the path for a little while with me. Until next time, blessed be.